Alright, let's kick things off with 7-9 of diamonds. We are facing an under the gun open, a +1 calling and small blind calling as well. So we're flicking the call as well. And the flop comes beautiful 3, 5, 6 with 2 diamonds. So we flop an gotcha to the straight flush. And here at WPT, if you hit the straight flush, you will get a jackpot, which in this case would be like 3 buy-ins. And you have to remember, we started this challenge with only 2,000 big blinds. So like 600 bigs here would be huge boost for our bankroll. So obviously we are not going anywhere. We flick in the call just to keep other players in as well. Alright, the turn brings the 6 of hearts. Not our favorite card because someone could have both or quads now, but still we have the straight flush draw here, so let's see what happens. And now, the original caller actually, the +1 caller bets pot here. And to be honest, I don't think that he would bet pot if he were to have both or quads. So, I'm not going anywhere. I want my straight flush. So I flick in all my money because I think that if the original raiser is calling, he calls my ship anyway. And the river. The river is the beautiful, beautiful 8 of diamonds. So that is a straight flush. And that means that we are winning like 6 big blinds. Big blinds, blind buy-in spot here. And that is a huge, huge thing for our challenge. 1,200 big blinds pot to get things started. This is what dreams are made of. Beautiful, beautiful thing.
Hi, I'm Ville and I went broke. Now I'm starting a game with $200 and the goal is 20,000. If I get there, I will take part of the winnings for a poker trip to Texas. I'm starting by playing at NL20 at WBT Global. I'm following simple bankroll rules. If I win 8 buy-ins, I move up. If I lose 8 buy-ins, I will move down. That's the plan. Welcome on board.
Alright, so we get dealt ace queen offsuit under the gun. We open to roughly 6 bigs, and Aggro recreational calls us. And then very tight player 3 bets us from the cutoff. So actually all decisions I feel are not that great in this spot because he is so tight. Generally I could 4-bet or just call here. Now I'm even thinking about folding, but I'm not good enough to fold ace queen here. Okay, so recreational calls as well, and flop comes 2, 3, 8 rainbow. So we flop 2 overs, and the pre-flop raiser, he bets small, like 1/3, and I'm thinking that sometimes we even might have the best hand here, and the bet is so small that we almost get odds to call. So I decided to call. And the queen, turn comes queen. So now we have top pair, top kicker. And let's see what happens. Now the original raiser bets like half pot. To be honest, I think I would have to fold here. Even though I got my queen. You might think that why on earth would you call on flop if you are folding here, and that's so true. Maybe I should have folded already on turn. But in this situation, when he bets into 2 people, and I think that I would just have to call here. So that is definitely a mistake. River is king, and I only have 60 big blinds left in like 500 bigs pot, so I can't fold anymore. And he shows us the bad news. Pocket rocket. Yuck, I definitely should have folded there. I hate my play. Well, that's poker. Alright, so in the next hand we get dealt queen jack offsuit on the button, and we obviously raise. We raise to around 7 bigs here on a button, like usually. And we get call from small blind, who is a loose recreational player. and if I remember correctly, from the straddle as well, who is about the similar type of player. And the flop comes 10-7 king rainbow. I couldn't see checking here or betting, but I decided to bet because we have quite a lot of equity and we would like to keep the betting league and also build the pot if we hit our draw, open-end straight draw that is. So we bet like 40% of the pot or something like that. And the small blind raise is like really small, like 2.5x. Obviously, we are not going anywhere, and I don't see any merit in raising, so I just call. And turn brings in the nuts. And now the villain bets almost pot, and I'm not. To be honest, I'm not sure what to do here. If it would be reg, I would think that most of the time he would have like 2 pairs set, whatever. But these recreationals, I'm not sure. He can have anything. So this time I decided just to call. But as I said, I'm not sure if that's the right decision or not. But let's see what happens. So the river is 10 of clubs, bringing in the flush. And if he had 2 pair or trips, he has both or quads now, so we are toast. But he decides to take the time bank, and after that he checks. So I actually think that we are good here often enough to bet. And against recreationals, when we have the nuts or like very strong hand, I like to bet big. So I decided to ship it in for like 1.5 times the pot. I don't know if that's too greedy and a punt, but that's what I decided to do in game. And the villain folds. The good side in WPT Global is you can actually buy the Showdown. I guess it costs like, I don't know, I don't even remember, like half of Big Blind or something like that. We can get back to that later. But the guy shows 8-9 suited, so he also had open-ender on the flop. Well, unfortunately, the reward wasn't like 6 or something like that, or even Jack would have been great. But that's poker. The next hand we get dealt pocket nines on a button on 3-handed play, and we open to 3 big blinds, and small blind tie player 3 bets us. I don't see merit in 4-betting here, so I just call. And the flop comes 2-10 ace, 2-tone, which we obviously don't love because the 3-better has so much aces in their range. But when the 3-better checks the flop, I feel a little better about my hand, but I don't see any merit in betting, so I just check behind. The turn brings in the flush, and now the 3-better checks for the second time. So I think that he has some sort of showdown hand, but doesn't want to bet, so I think we don't have enough showdown value, so I start bluffing here. I bet like half pot to kind of see where we stand and lure him in, like with pocket queens or kings or whatever with spade. And now the reverse jack. And still, I think we definitely don't have the best hand here, and he does not have like great hands. So I decided to bet big, and I'm betting like 1.6, 1.7 times the pot, and I'm praying for the fold. Come on, fold, 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 fold. And no, he finds the call with pocket kings. So he had exactly what I thought, but unfortunately he just couldn't find the fold. I'm not hating my play here. I think it's totally fine. The result is not. Alrighty, in the next hand we get dealt ace-10 offsuit on button. And loose passive-ish guy opens from cutoff, so we decide to 3-bet to ISO him, and we have a decent hand, even though it's not. I'd say it's borderline value-wise. So we 3-bet, the blinds fold, and he calls. The flop comes 7-10 king, rainbow, and our plan here is if he bets, we just check behind because we actually want him to start bluffing on the turn. And that's exactly what we do. And turn comes 4 of hearts. If he bets, we call. If he checks, I think that we start betting for value already. But now he bets 2/3, so nothing to do here but call. And we are planning on also calling the river unless it's like horrible card. But there is actually not so horrible card. So if he bets, we just call it off. We know it's bluff catcher, but that's what we want. And now he shows us ace queen of suits, so we are good here. Next up, pocket rockets from under the gun. Obviously we open it. I open a bit bigger because there are recreationals on blinds. And let's see what happens. The big blind calls and tight. Player that I marked tight, 3-bets big from the straddle. Obviously we want to get more money in here. We are about 400 bigs deep and with actually everyone. So we decide to 4-bet, and pretty standard size in my opinion, like 2.3 or something like that. And villain calls. Flop comes 5-5 jack with 2 clubs. We have the club of ace of clubs in our hand. And I'm thinking about betting. Of course I'm thinking about betting, but bet sizing. And I decide to bet small here, like 1/3, a little shy of 1/3 pot, to keep all his overcards and jack X in. And on the turn, that is 9 of spades, shouldn't change anything. I decide to bet very small to induce a bluff or keep his all kinds of bad hands in there. And then he decides to jam. In my opinion, this is no-brainer. This is what we wanted when we bet small on turn. If he would have pocket jacks or 9s or even 5s, I don't think that he would chip it in here. Of course you never know, but I think that we are good so much that it's no-brainer call here. And that's exactly what happens. He has ace king suited, so we get induce a bluff from him on the turn by betting so small. And obviously he's drawing dead, so nothing to do here but collect the cash. Alright, to the next hand. We get dealt queen jack offshoot on the button. And there's aggro, recreational on small blinds, and 1 poster from early position. And reg opens from cutoff, and in my opinion we could either 3-bet or even think about flatting for ones. I don't like it in general, but if there are like a lot of recreationals behind, then I might flat hands like this. And that's what I decided to do. And 1 recreational course from behind and from the small blind. Another one from straddle, and 3rd one, the limp caller. So basically we got what we wanted. And flop comes 5-6 jack rainbow. So we have top pair with a decent kicker here. And the small blind decides to lead here. Like small sizing. And I'm not sure what to think about that. Usually it's like mediocre hand or draw or something like that. So I'm not going anywhere. The turn brings in 2. So 3-4 gets there. Other than that, if we were good on flop, we should be still good. So now I decide to check behind because I don't see that much value in betting, and I'm thinking that we will let him bluff the river if that's what he wants to do. And now on the river, he thinks for quite some time and checks. So now I'm thinking that we definitely have the value bet here. And I decided to bet like 60-70% of the pot for value, obviously, here. And now that he comes on top, in my opinion, his line does not make any sense. But on the other hand, the raise is like 3.5x. Is he really bluffing here enough for this to be profitable? On game, I couldn't find the fold, and he shows us flopped set of fives. And he played this very well and in a very weird way, so he could get the most out of me, I guess. So, nice answer. Into the next hand. And there we get dealt pocket kings to cut off, and really loose and aggro guys opens to 6.8 bigs. We get 3-bet from unknown villain next, and I see only one option here. We're gonna 4-bet and get it in, like basically no matter what. So we 4-bet to roughly 2.5 times the 3-bet, obviously for value. And let's see if we can get it in pre or what. Okay, the lose guy calls the original raiser, which is what we actually absolutely love that. And the flop comes 2-4-5, which is a flop that we do not love because Ace X has quite a lot of equity against us. And on the other hand, the guy is so wild that I just decide to ship it in because I'm thinking that if he has Ace X, he snaps it off. And if he has like 10s or anything like that, he's not folding either. So let's just get the money in right here, right now. I think I'm basically fake tanking here what to do, and then we ship it in, and let's see what happens here. Tanking, please call, please, and he flicks in the call with 10 queen of spades. So everything went really smooth. We got money in very good, but unfortunately turn is jack of spades, so we lose a decent sized pot. And I remember in game this really tilted me out, and I had to take a little break because the guy sucked out on me on some hand earlier as well. So meh.
First week done. I played about 10 hours and we finished $97 up. So nothing to complain there. But to be honest, I didn't play well at all. I bluffed way too much against recreationals and I couldn't find the folds where I should have. I think I ran pretty well. For next week, the focus is simple. Let's make folding great again. Thanks for watching.